Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Zachary Dickinson here. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, a wonderful week. It will be Wednesday when this video comes out. It is Tuesday, early afternoon, filming this quick little video. Today's video is going to be my top 5 fantasy anime that I have watched. This is continuing the kind of series, kind of not really a series, of my top 5 anime of a specific category, underrated, overrated, or specific genre, like fantasy. I've done shonen, mecha, and isekai. I roughly do about one of these every single month. And I'll do deeper dives into the anime that I list here in the near future on the Fridays. So Wednesdays are about TV shows and the broad sense of establishing what I like and what I don't like, and to show it off about all of y'all. So we have one thing to get into before we get into my top 5. So let's get on into that. So for those of you who don't really watch anime or don't keep up with what the genres or categories mean, what is fantasy anime? Fantasy anime just means that it exists in the fantasy world without it being shonen or shoujo, which is directly towards male or female teens or a specific audience to a specific degree, or that it's not an isekai or a mecha or anything like that, meaning it's not, or even seinen, which is adult males. Mecha meaning Megazords like Power Rangers or just some type of mechanized vehicle like a tank or something like that. Isekai, they got reincarnated or summoned to a different world. Fantasy just means we exist in a fantasy world that may or may not have magic. Um, and they may or may not follow a specific trope. But if they follow a specific trope, like I got banished from the hero's party or whatever, something like that, I would probably end up eventually doing my own specific set of top 5 for that to even differentiate it even further, to separate it up. But this is my top 5 fantasy anime. If you like this video, please like now, just to show your appreciation. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. We upload about three to 5 videos just about every single week. 3 is the normal, 5 is at most. 5 would be, and I'm currently going towards about 4 a week instead of just 3, so it'll be 4 to 5. 5, I would only ever reach 5 if it's a combined or a compilation video that would release only on Tuesdays, more than just the Marvel, but also just general compilation videos. The 4th will be the Friday videos that I've been uploaded infrequently. I'm thinking about doing those a little bit more frequently, but that's just what is fantasy anime and a few other things. So let's get down into it. So for this video, I made a few little slides, and some like ideas and stuff about. So this is number 5, the Dragon Prince. I've only watched about 9 technically fantasy anime that, or I just haven't updated the list in a little while. But I've only really watched about 9, so there's not really too many to choose. And so number 5 is just the best of the rest. This could really just be a top 4. But number 5, the Dragon Prince. What happens is, there are dragons, there are elves, this whole fantasy world. This is very much a kids show, so the logic and stuff behind it isn't really the best that it would be for most of the other anime here. It's very simplified, and it's very kid friendly. So what happens in the beginning of the story is a dark human wizard takes the baby of the dragon queen, the baby egg, and just takes it with him. And so now he's made an enemy out of most of the rest of the world that isn't really human. And so it kind of sparks a whole new war. And the prince comes because of the baby egg. And we also just follow mostly kids in this show. I don't want to give too much details without going too in depth. I'll make a deep dive about many of these shows later on. So, number 5, the Dragon Prince. Alright, so coming in at number 4 is what many of people have called Anime of the Year of 1 year. Currently, season 2 is finishing up right now, but it's just Frieren Beyond Journey's End. What happens to some members of the hero's party after they finally beat the big bad demon king. Well, Frieren is an elf, a very weird one in that, and lives a long time, so she has outlived her old party and is now just venturing on a wonderful adventure, meeting new friends and family. Frieren is a very, very weird character in and of herself, in that she likes to collect very weird spell books with weird spells in them, and stuff like that, and also isn't that well with dealing with money at all. And so this is a nice, chill, wonderful anime just to watch and lay back. It's not a it can be flashy at times, but it's not really all that flashy or anything of that sort. It's just a fun anime to watch with a long-term story just building on and building on all throughout. All right, so coming in at number 3 here, we have Goblin Slayer. I would It's very dark and very weird. And you will decide whether or not you want to watch this episode. This whole entire anime after the first episode. Trust me, you don't need much information. The main character just kills goblins. That's all there is. He just kills goblins. He's a protagonist that loves killing goblins and like just killing goblins and stuff. And he's like not the main attraction of the whole show. He just kills goblins and stuff just naturally happens around him with various different things. And so that's more or less the show. Some people come in, some people come out, and he kind of forms himself a little party, but it's still just I want to slay goblins, and you will know whether or not to watch this show by just what you see and what you think about the first episode of the show, and that's it. All right, so now coming in at number 2 is a show that only has one season, 12 episodes out currently, and came out in the coveted anime season where I believe Kaiju number 8 season 1 initially came out, but that was I believe in the summer 2024 slate, which was Wistoria, Wand and Sword, where we follow Will Surford, who has no access to magic but is going to a magic school and is just defeating and proving himself all throughout the way. And this is on the cusp of season 2 coming out in just a few days. If you've watched the anime slate video, which I'll link down below, of the spring 2026 anime slate, it is definitely one of my most hotly anticipated shows. One of the shows that I will be watching all throughout this upcoming anime season. And so I can't wait for it. I know there's going to be much more action, much more story and development all throughout this, and I just can't wait for it. So that is number 2. All right, so now we have a show that I watched last year. This is a fantasy anime. This is Yatagarasu, the how am I blanking on this right now? Yatagarasu, the Raven, does not choose its master. It's a it's a political drama where we're trying to see who ends up becoming the next queen out of the whole nation and the four like kingdoms as thing, because you have the north, the south, the east, and the west, all that. And so for much of the show, this is about finding out the queen, but also with the prince and his assistants, two assistants, trying to figure out something else as well. Now the second half of this is a different plot line, but it also develops the main plot line that was kind of threading on through the first little bit as well. This is one of my favorite anime of all time. It is subbed only. If it ever gets a dub, it's definitely going to rise for sure. That's big if. I don't know if it's ever going to get one. But I watched this last year. I love it, and I cannot get enough of it. I would watch it pretty much 10 times in a row, and dubbing would make it so much better. And so that is number 1, Yatagarasu. The Raven does not choose its master. So yeah, that is my top 5 fantasy anime that I have watched. It's definitely the one of the anime genres or categories that I haven't watched all too much about, but I probably wouldn't change on number 1 or number 2 for a very long time. And 3 and 4 are also kind of solidified in that kind of general range. Number 5 could vary in the near future, but we have The Dragon Prince at 5, Frieren Beyond Journey's End at 4. Coming in at number 3 is Goblin Slayer. Number 2 Wistoria Wand and Sword, which is days away from season 2. And I'll definitely be talking about that in various different videos soon. And then number 1, YATAGARASU, The Raven Does Not Choose Its Master. 20 episodes, only subbed and finished completely. So, if you want to watch any of anime type videos, I'll link a few of them down below. I'll also put a playlist of top 5 somewhere as well, and something else as well. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like it. If you've watched this all the way through for about roughly 10 or 11 minutes of this, I thank you very so much, and ask that since you watched it, please subscribe. Become one of the first subscribers. We're at 12. Let's get to 20. And hit that notification bell to get notified about any future videos. Comment down below you like about anime in general, or if you agree or disagree about the list that I've made. But without any further ado, I'll see you all Friday.